Ever feel like you're starring in a daily drama at daycare drop-off? One where you're the villain?
Oh, Tim, you're so right. Some mornings it feels like an Academy Award winning performance from your toddler. I'm Edna, by the way, and it's true, those daycare goodbyes can be rough.
I'm Tim, and trust me, you're not alone. So many parents struggle with this. But guess what? We have some really practical tips today to help turn that tearful tragedy into a smooth, even happy start to the day. Welcome to the Rising Parent Podcast.
That's right. Today we're diving deep into daycare separation anxiety. We're going to unpack what's happening emotionally for your little one and give you some actionable strategies for a tear-free or at least fewer tears drop-off.
And remember, new episodes of the Rising Parent Podcast are released every Monday and Friday, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Let's get started. Okay, Edna, let's jump right in. Why is daycare separation anxiety such a common thing? I mean, it feels like every parent I talk to has experienced this at some point.
It really is, Tim. And it's important to remember that separation anxiety is a perfectly normal developmental stage. You know, from a child's perspective, especially in the toddler years, you, the parent, are their entire world. Leaving them in someone else's care, even if it's a place they know and generally like, can feel like a huge loss of security.
That makes so much sense. I think that understanding the why helps parents be more patient, right? Instead of just getting frustrated, they can recognize it's a real emotional experience for the child.
Absolutely. It's not just them being difficult or trying to manipulate you, which, let's be honest, some parents secretly suspect. It's a genuine fear of the unknown and a longing for their safe person.
Right, exactly. So, what's the first strategy parents can try?
Okay, one of the most effective things is establishing a consistent and predictable routine. Kids thrive on routine. Remember that one family we had in our daycare? Their little one was having a meltdown every single morning until we helped them create a really clear morning ritual.
Oh, yes, I remember. It was something like wake up, get dressed, eat breakfast, read one book together, then head out the door, right?
Exactly. And it was the consistency that made the difference. Their son knew what to expect, and that predictability gave him a sense of control and security. So create a simple, repeatable routine leading up to daycare. It could be anything: a special song in the car, a particular goodbye hug, a certain spot where they leave their backpack.
Okay, so routine is key. What about when you get to daycare? Because that's where the real fireworks usually start.
The drop-off zone. Yes, that's a critical moment. Here's where the quick and confident approach comes in. Lingering, hesitating, or showing your own anxiety will only amplify your child's distress.
So, no drawn-out goodbyes, no sneaking away when they're not looking?
Absolutely not. Sneaking away is the worst thing you can do. It erodes their trust in you and makes them even more anxious about when you might disappear next. One family we had in our daycare learned that the hard way. Their daughter would cling to her dad for dear life after he tried the sneaking out method.
That makes perfect sense. So, quick, confident, and what else?
Positive. Project positivity, even if you're feeling frazzled inside. Smile, make eye contact with the daycare provider, and say something like, "Have a wonderful day. I'll see you later." And then leave. Don't get sucked back in by the tears.
It's tough, though, isn't it, to walk away when your child is crying and reaching for you?
It is. It's incredibly difficult. But remember, the daycare staff are trained to handle these situations. They know how to comfort and distract children, and most of the time, the crying stops within minutes after you leave.
Right, and it's important to trust that they can do their job. So what if the quick and confident approach just isn't working? What if the tears are still flowing every single day?
Then it's time to dig a little deeper. Consider the possibility of open communication with the daycare teachers. Understand what the child's day will look like and discuss these activities in advance so the child knows what to expect. This may reduce the anxiety about the unknown.
So proactively ask the daycare teachers for some insights?
Exactly. And remember, communication goes both ways. Talk to your child about daycare too. Ask them about their favorite activities, their friends, their teachers. Help them feel connected to the place even when they're not there.
I think that's a great point. Sometimes we're so focused on getting them to daycare that we forget to talk about it in a positive way outside of drop-off time.
Right. And maybe create a visual reminder. Another family had a lot of success with creating a photo album of all the child's friends in the daycare. This created excitement, and the child started looking forward to seeing her friends.
Okay, so we've covered routine, quick and confident drop-offs, and open communication. What about a comfort object? Is that a good idea?
Yes, absolutely. A favorite blanket, a stuffed animal, a small toy, anything that provides a sense of comfort and security can be a huge help. But make sure it's something the daycare allows and that won't get lost or broken easily.
Good point. You don't want the comfort object to become another source of anxiety. What if the child is a bit older and understands the concept of time, like a 3 or 4-year-old?
Then you can start using visual timers or countdowns. Tell them, I'll be back after snack time, or I'll be back after you play with the blocks. This gives them a concrete understanding of when you'll be returning.
Oh, I like that. It makes the abstract concept of later more tangible.
Exactly. And for some kids, it can be helpful to create a special goodbye ritual, a secret handshake, a special phrase, something that's just between you and them.
So something unique and reassuring, like a secret code that says, I love you, I'm thinking of you, and I'll be back.
Precisely.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of strategies here, but what if, despite all our best efforts, the separation anxiety persists? When is it time to seek professional help?
That's a really important question. If the anxiety is severe, persistent, and interfering with your child's ability to function, if they're refusing to go to daycare altogether, having meltdowns that last for hours, or showing signs of physical distress like stomach aches or headaches, then it's time to talk to your pediatrician or a child psychologist.
Okay, so trust your gut. If something feels off, don't hesitate to seek professional guidance.
Absolutely. And remember, you're not alone in this. Daycare separation anxiety is incredibly common, and there are many resources available to help you and your child through it.
All right, let's do a quick recap of our key takeaways, Edna. What are the most important things parents should remember?
Okay, first, understand that separation anxiety is a normal developmental stage. It doesn't mean you're a bad parent or your child is overly sensitive.
Second, establish a consistent and predictable routine leading up to daycare. Routine breeds security.
Third, practice quick and confident drop-offs. Lingering only makes it worse.
Fourth, communicate openly with the daycare staff and talk to your child about their experiences.
Fifth, consider a comfort object or a special goodbye ritual.
And finally, if the anxiety is severe or persistent, don't hesitate to seek professional help.
Exactly. And remember, patience is key. It might take time for your child to adjust, but with consistency and understanding, you can help them overcome their separation anxiety and thrive in their daycare environment.
Such great advice, Edna. Thank you.
Always a pleasure, Tim.
And that's all the time we have for today's episode. We really hope these tips are helpful for you and your little one.
Yes, and remember, if you found this episode valuable, please subscribe to the Rising Parent podcast and leave us a 5-star review. It really helps us reach more parents who are struggling.
You can also visit our website at risingparent.org for additional resources. I'll put the link in the episode description.
And don't forget, if there's a parenting topic you're just dying to hear us discuss, send us a message. Go to risingparent.org/podcast for our contact info. I'll also put the contact info in the description. We'll happily create an episode just for you.
That's right. We love hearing from you and creating content that meets your needs. And remember, new episodes of the Rising Parent podcast are released every Monday and Friday.
Until next time, happy parenting.
Bye, everyone.